deserve.
I feel like they would start off slow and pick up.
Yeah, and that's how it usually is. Yeah. And it's the supersets is the highlight. For me.
Yeah.
That seems to be where there's more flow. The other ones are kind of just like Q&A kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that ones were kind of like opening up and just letting people know how we feel about certain things. So I feel like
And I think if we do get to the point where we're getting guests on, this would probably be.
like out here.
Yeah. I'll have to relook in a minute here and see how the audio sounds. But yeah, because we can get.
Like someone like right here.
Right there.
Like is there enough room like on each
Yeah,
side of the camera?
I can pan it out.
Okay, so we can get them separate the chairs and have them like right here. We just have to figure out the mic kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Yeah.
Let me just see.
You say that Ellie had a
No,
spot
so
or
the gym that I'm building down there, the 5,000 square foot gym,
Yeah.
they have the craziest setup because Ellie's telling me all these things that they could get.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, there's a thing called a magic box where you can set up to 6 cameras.
Oh shit.
Because I was saying on podcasts, how do they go from person to person and look seamless?
Yeah.
He's like, you just press it because number 1 would be camera number 1, number 2, camera number 2. So if it's me and you, there's a camera on you, camera on me. Number 1, you're talking.
I'm talking.
And then you want to see my reaction number 2 right away. You get my reaction, then back to number 1.
Oh, see, I thought that people would they film everything and kind of edit it. And
Oh,
splice
he's
it.
like, it's just
Camera
multiple
1, camera
cameras.
2.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's like,
That's
if you look
dope.
at podcasts, if you see the production side of it, there's probably 3 or 4 cameras.
Yeah,
And they're
yeah.
just like, boop, boop, and someone's actually there just doing that.
Going, this guy
'Cause
talking.
yeah,
Go to that camera.
because it takes time off of the editing process.
Big time, I would say, because that'd be so tedious to get them lined up perfectly
Exactly.
so it still flows and whatnot. See, I definitely knew there was multiple cameras. I didn't know there was a switchboard.
Yeah, multiple
kind of
cameras, multiple mics, and then
crazy.
even like the crazy ones have even multiple lighting
thing. Wow.
to just emphasize what the person's saying. He's like, you wouldn't really see it to the untrained eye, but he's like, I can see it where if you're talking about something like impactful, it'll brighten up.
Really?
Just to engage the visual cue of the person more.
That's crazy. Yeah, we need to get our hands on some of that stuff. He
Yeah,
has these things?
He has all that down there. So I'm like, what do you have down here, Leo? He's like, okay, come in the office. Opens up the drawer. Ellie's like, oh, okay, you have all this stuff. He's like, the stuff I was describing to you was high end. He has higher than that.
Jesus Christ. Really?
Yeah. So
We
we
need
can
to
go
get a couple
down there.
episodes,
Yeah, so we can go down there and shoot. We're gonna stage it all down there, or I can get some of the camera and the stuff up here.
So with the camera, is it a special cameras you need, or
No,
even
he
things
just has the ones he got were just like JVC 4K.
Okay.
4K.
Okay, but 4K
Yeah.
for sure. So so we need like one on me, one on you, and then one maybe on both of us.
Yeah,
if
and
we
then
were, like, a
we would have
guest
to literally have someone here doing the
running the board.
running it.
That's true. Yeah, because we can't we don't be able to do it ourselves. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then he's like, with that magic board, you can also hook in your laptop. I don't know if you ever watched like Joe Rogan.
Not that much.
Or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Whatever podcast, they'll have someone there researching. So if you're talking about a topic, Joe Rogan often has this guy Jamie, like Google whatever it is, and it comes up on the screen.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There was whose podcast? Joe Budden. Joe Budden's podcast.
Yes.
He has the screen man. They call him same thing.
Yeah.
You research something that comes on the
Yeah.
screen, so they're like right on top of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, it's Janice. I think she's coming to train Nicole.
Yeah. So that's another that's another good thing that we can ultimately do.
Yeah, for sure.
Topics are good.
Yeah,
I
topics
kind
are
of want to get into. I'm going to tell you this a podcast on the Pivot that I listened to yesterday. I think at some point we should address. I have it on next week's questions. Have you ever encountered racism within sport or fitness?
That's a great topic. 1,000,000% I have. For
Yeah.
sure.
So I think that would be a good topic because that's kind of like the world topic right now.
Yeah.
And the one guy that was on the Pivot, Jason Williams, who used to play at Duke University basketball, big time basketball player.
Or Jay Williams.
Jay Williams.
Yeah,
Short Jay Williams.
Yeah, on the bike, he matched himself on a motorbike,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
So he's on there talking about his wife is Lebanese and Italian.
Okay.
So he's talking about the whole Hebrew thing with Kyrie, and he got a lot of pushback from a lot of people because everyone was against Kyrie.
Yeah.
He's like, "Did you watch the documentary?" And they're like, "No." They're like, "How are you going to be against this guy?"
Yeah.
You don't even know what it says.
Yeah, exactly. Just because
Like, I can't make myself a proper decision on what side I stand on because I haven't watched it.
Exactly.
I can't speak on something I didn't watch. So that a lot of people got on him.
Fucking media, man.
And then even he said, even more so, a lot of people got on him. He said he would wake up, and I don't know the exact times, I'll listen to it again, but he said he would do the early show, which is 3 a.m., So he'd have to leave his house at 3 a.m., get to the early ESPN show at like 4, shoot from 4 to like 12, get his lunch, get food, whatever it is, and then jump on a flight and go do a late show in another state from like 8 p.m. to like, and fly back at like 12 p.m.
Wow.
He's like, I'm doing this nonstop. I'm grinding. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. 'Cause I'm trying to build up my resume and build up money. I'm doing this. And then COVID hit. I got COVID. We just had our third child, him and his wife. And he's like, you know what? Maybe it's a good time. We have good money. We're comfortable. I take a month off. And he's like, the flack that I got for taking that month off from executives saying, you don't want this. You're not serious. Oh yeah.
Come on, man. At the end of the day, you're human. Like what? Like you just sort of burn himself out for y'all?
And he was like, honestly, this is the first time I've ever said this on a podcast or a media platform. He's like, I don't know the repercussions. Honestly, I don't care. I'm in a good place. All my stuff's legit now. Money's good. He's like, it's not cool that they try to force you to go back to work. I took 4 weeks off. He's like, my wife raised our first 2 kids. I wanted to be there, a part of the third one. She had postpartum. She was struggling with all these different things. And you're going to tell me I need to come back to work?
It's just 1 month we're talking too. It took like a year off.
He's like, people were on me from like the day that I said I'm going off. Like, when you coming back? You ain't serious. You don't want this, bro.
Get out of here.
And then the other guy, Channing. I forget his name. I'm not a big football guy.
Channing. I think I know what you're talking about.
Light skinned guy.
Light skinned with dreads?
Yes.
Oh man, what's his name? I know exactly. He used to play for Miami.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, so Channing, he was there. He's like, man, I took 6 weeks off with my last kid. And he's like, you have a problem? Come talk to me face to face.
Yeah, straight up, exactly.
He's like, I'm not playing that. He's like, I wasn't there the first couple times because in sports at that level, and I've heard a lot of basketball players say this too, they would have a separate room in their house so they can get their rest or their sleep if they have a game. So he's like, I'm telling my wife knows, like, don't have the baby waking me up, don't do this, don't do that, because I need to get ready for the game. Because ultimately, I get paid from the game so we can have this lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So he's like, our last kid, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm taking 6 weeks off. I don't care what happens.
Good for him.
It's like, good thing I'm at the position. I could do that in the position, but he's like, yeah, man. It's madness.
You can't even just rest. You can't even just recharge. And that's all it is. You're recharging. You can't burn yourself out. You're not going to be able to make money and have that lifestyle for your family.
Yeah, he goes deep. Jay will.
Wow.
I like him because he's like, I'm a Kyrie guy. I know Kyrie. Kyrie wouldn't intentionally put something out that's going to be damaging to someone.
Yeah. He would not do that.
The only thing I would have recommended that he said in the interview after that, when the media was trying to like bait him, was to say, you know what? These are the things I learned from the documentary, but these are the things I didn't agree with. He just took the bait when the guy was just like, why are you promoting it? Why are you promoting it? Why are you promoting it? And he didn't have anything to stand on. He's like, that's the only thing I would have said to him.
Fair point.
But he's like, yeah, everyone was against him.
Jesus Christ.
I was the only one that really stood up for him.
Yeah, you held it down with him.
Yeah.
Damn. Crazy world, man. Freedom of speech, it doesn't exist.
No.
It does not exist. You can say what you want, but you're going to get shitted on. And you might get canceled.
And that's what he said too. He's like, until I made my comments about Kyrie and that we should look at it from a different angle and perspective, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and all these places still had that documentary on their platforms. It wasn't until I said something that targeted them, then they pulled it off.
So nobody said nothing when it was just on there.
It was on there.
Forever. Funny how that works. A black man says something and all of a sudden, okay, cancel time.
Yeah. He has some good points too about, I haven't read it, this other book called Powernomics.
Okay. Never heard
so, and I don't know the author, I just started looking up at it briefly. It was just about how after not even civil rights, after Jim Crow, that whole slavery's over and now you guys are free men, was good, but it was also very disruptive and detrimental to black society because there was no redistribution of power or wealth.
Okay.
So yeah, you're free, but we're going to control everything still.
Yeah,
and you're going to work for us.
Are you really free?
So that's
Are you really free? Yeah.
So Jay Williams went on the Breakfast Club and was talking about that book, and he's like, right before I went on there, because people knew what I was going to talk about, they're like, be careful, man. Be careful, because if you talk about this book, they'll cancel you. And you won't get the contracts, you won't get this, you won't get that. Like crazy stuff.
That's nuts.
And the same thing about the whole Kyrie, when he started to get into it, people were like, yo, be careful, man.
Yeah.
Be careful. He's like, why? He's like, I live in a Jewish community. I have multiple Jewish friends.
Yeah.
I've talked to them about this topic and made them see it from my side. And they're like, I never thought about that. So let's have an open conversation instead of
just cancel.
Kyrie the face of this.
Yeah. He's like the scapegoat for it.
Yeah, because they said it happened from when he was against the vax.
I know he got a lot of flack for that.
But he's like, there was hundreds of basketball players in the NBA that didn't get vaxxed.
Yeah.
The only thing was, a lot of them didn't play in New York State, and New York State mandated that if you have to work, you had to be vaxxed.
Yeah.
So he's like, then they made Kyrie the face
exactly.
of the anti-vaxxers.
The anti-vaxxers. That's craziness. That's craziness.
And so then a couple years later or a year later, now they're like, well, you're anti-Semitic. Now you're the face of this.
Poor guy, man. You just can't get your break. But it's like, you know what? Like, you can try to cancel. You can't cancel somebody that doesn't care about being canceled.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you just give a shit about getting canceled, it's like, I don't care what you want. Like, just you say about Jay Will, he's like, I'm good. You guys want to fucking shit on me? I don't care. I'm good. My life's set up. My family's set up. We're great. It's just the people that really care about that optic of being seen and being heard that like, oh my God, please don't cancel me. But if you don't give a shit about being canceled, go right ahead. You can't cancel the uncancelable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And another good topic on that, probably the last one we'll touch on here, is Channing was saying oftentimes when he gets invited to do like a speech or do a presentation at somewhere, when he comes in, he'll say, when he's introduced to the person who called him in, the person will be like, hey, I'm whatever. He's like, hey, I'm Channing, you're welcome. And they're like, what do you mean you're welcome? He's like, you're welcome that I came.
True.
He said, oftentimes, he's like, I know it comes off very brash and very egotistic and arrogant.
Yeah.
But he's like, they want me in this room.
Yeah.
Why is it that as black men are we always saying, oh, thank you.
I'm so grateful.
We're so grateful for you having us here. He's like, no. You called me.
Yeah.
You're paying me to be here.
And you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Guys showing up.
He's like, it shocks everyone, but at the end of the day, he's like, when people of other colors, if it's Asian, white, whoever's successful gets called into that room, it's not like they're saying, oh, I'm so blessed to be here. I'm so thankful.
No,
not Where's the money? Thank you. I'll do the speech, whatever it is, and you're welcome. He's like, why don't we lead with that?
That's a good change of attitude that we should be having for sure. So I'm like, oh yeah, thank you, master, thank you. That's almost go back to slavery time. Thank you, master, for having me. Like, no, not even. They was you there.
Yep.
You are welcome that I showed up.
Yep. He's like, this guy's going to pay me $25,000 for a talk. Why am I going to be like, oh, I'm so thankful. I don't need that money.
Yeah,
exactly. I got money.
Yeah.
He's like, you're welcome that I showed up for $25,000.
Yeah, exactly. I could have been doing other shit.
Because I could have charged you $30.
Yeah. Straight up. That's a good one. Good way to change the attitude.
Yeah, it's I think his name. Channing. It's Ryan Clark, RC.
Yep, Ryan Clark.
And Freaky Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor.
Yeah.
He's playing for Jacksonville.
Yeah, the three of them.
Oh no, I'm thinking about I Am Athlete. That's with Brandon Marshall.
Yes.
And
that one's okay. I don't like.
Cinco.
That one's okay.
Those guys, they have personalities, so I know they do some outlandish shit.
The other one's better. The other one, like, they get down to like the hardcore. I didn't watch it. I listened to it, but I could tell like Jason Williams was either crying or like on the verge when he started getting into like hardcore topics.
Wow.
He's like, because you guys don't understand how the media spins things, and then also how they try to suppress your voice when you're at the top level. He's like, I'm on ESPN on First Take. I'm on these things, and they try to suppress your voice.
Wow.
Until they need you, like a George Floyd event. Okay, well, now what do you want to say?
Yeah.
So he's like,
kick rocks, man.
He's like, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
He's like, just like one person that's been very vocal is J.R. Smith.
Yep. Swish.
Yeah, Swish, exactly. So he said, with all the top basketball players, LeBron, AD, like all of them, he's like, we have billions of dollars. Why don't you guys go build your own stuff?
1,000,000%
build your own. Like, why are you still going to all of these places in the summertime where you're limited on access to go play basketball and train with the guys? Build your own facilities.
Build your own shit, yeah.
Build your own schools. You can ultimately, if you guys all wanted to, build your own league and control it.
They could. 100%, yeah.
But it's like, it comes back to the dollar. People don't want to. He's like, you guys already have $200-300 million. Like, your life is not going to change between $300 million and $600-800 million.
Yeah.
Same lifestyle.
Still gonna be good. So use all the overhead to like do something. Yeah, build something. Yeah. Great points.
So
Nice. Good little chit-chat.